Today on ForbesBLK 50, Money Masters 2026. More than 30 years have passed since Reginald Lewis made history by becoming the first Black American to own and operate a billion-dollar corporation, after he led the $985 million leveraged buyout of the food conglomerate Beatrice International. His 1987 buyout made headlines on Wall Street, and by 1991, earned the Baltimore native a spot on the Forbes 400, with a net worth of $340 million, or roughly $830 million in current dollars. He was the only Black person to make the list of America's wealthiest that year. LeVoyd Robinson, co-founder and CEO of CFI Partners, remembers seeing Lewis on a magazine cover and says, quote, "It literally meant everything." At the time, Robinson was a student at Howard University with his own dreams of success in finance. Referring to having a career in private investment, he says, quote, "It was proof that it's possible. It's actually possible that you can." What many people overlook about Lewis's landmark deal is the foundation on which it was built. Lewis had been a star athlete in high school and college, and after graduating from Harvard Law, he worked as a corporate attorney for 15 years. In 1983, Lewis started TLC Group, a private equity firm at a time when leveraged buyouts were often unwelcome and unpopular. The very next year, he purchased McCall Pattern Company, a sewing products maker, for $22.5 million. Lewis and his partners invested just $1 million and borrowed the rest. In July 1987, Lewis sold McCall for $90 million, prompting the New York Times to run an article with his picture and the headline, quote, "90-to-1 return for investor." Speaking to the Los Angeles Times in 1988, Lewis said, quote, "The McCall deal really laid the groundwork for our next transaction because it gave us credibility in the marketplace." His next deal was Chicago's Beatrice Foods, which had $1.8 billion in revenues. For the second annual ForbesBLK 50 Money Masters, we searched for Black Americans in the world of private capital who were following in Lewis's footsteps. Lewis, who died in 1993, had built a net worth of $400 million, or $897 million in today's dollars. ForbesBLK selected BLK 50 members primarily in three areas: private equity, private credit, and venture capital. The 2026 list builds on the inaugural list, ForbesBLK 50 Power, Wealth, and Impact, which featured the most influential and wealthy Black Americans in business. Some names from the 2024 list return, like Robert F. Smith, co-founder of $100 billion Vista Equity Partners, as well as entrepreneurs Jay-Z and Serena Williams, who have also excelled in private investments. The second BLK 50 list highlights new wealth creators and billionaires such as David Grain, founder of Grain Management, a private equity firm with $6 billion in assets. Grain, who started the private equity firm in 2007, has a net worth of $2.5 billion. Stefan Kaluzny, founder of Sycamore Partners, is also a new billionaire. In 2025, Kaluzny led the $10 billion buyout of Walgreens and has an estimated net worth of $1.3 billion. Robert Johnson, co-founder of Black Entertainment Television, or BET, is back on the billionaire list. He owns RLJ Equity Partners, a private equity firm managing more than $150 million in assets. In 2001, Johnson and his ex-wife Sheila sold BET to Viacom for $3 billion. That year, he became the first Black billionaire to make the Forbes 400, with an estimated net worth of $1.3 billion. Today, Forbes estimates his net worth at $1 billion. In total, individuals on the ForbesBLK 50 comprise an assets under management of more than $200 billion. Fairview Capital Partners, an investment management firm, reports that there are more than 1,000 women and minority-owned private equity and venture capital firms in the U.S. That's up from only 100 firms in 2014, when Fairview published its first market review of women and minority-owned private equity and venture capital firms. As of 2024, 168 of the 1,000 firms are Black-owned. That's up from 122 firms in 2022 and 67 firms 2 years prior, according to Fairview's data. Despite the growth of Black and minority-owned firms, many private capital firms are facing an uncertain future. The field is awash with competition, making fundraising and deal pricing extremely challenging. This, plus the rise in interest rates, has made leverage more expensive and hurt valuations, creating a difficult environment for exits. Even more worrisome is the potential for artificial intelligence to disrupt portfolio companies, especially in the area of software. And President Trump's war on diversity-focused initiatives hasn't helped matters. For full coverage and to see the whole Forbes BLK 50 list, check out Jabari Young and Asia Alexander's piece on Forbes.com. This is Kieran Meadows from Forbes. Thanks for tuning in.